Hey there, this is Mr. Leary, and today we're going to be doing a topic talk, our first topic talk for our unit on the study of history or studying history. And we want to understand, of course, what is it to study history? What is history? And a simple definition would be history is a record of time. And in order to look at that record of time, we have four core concepts that need to be applied throughout this course. The first is chronological thinking. In order to think chronologically, in order to make sense of what's happening over a period of time, we need to understand that there's an order of time. Things happen in sequence. It is a cause and effect relationship, if you will. Those relationships of events, again, we often use the cause and effect term, can be pretty simple or it can be very complex. For example, one event may be a causation factor for a number of really unconnected outcomes. This chronological thinking gives us an opportunity to use reasoning skills for why things happen in history. It gives us that explanation, and of course, as reasonable people, it gives us the ability to make sense of history. To look at it very simply, you need to think of history being a story. History has, just like stories you were told as a child, or movies you go to, or books you read, a story has a beginning, it has a middle, if you will, or a development. There's some type of issue, there's some type of problem that comes about, and the resolution of that problem, the issue being resolved, is of course your outcome. Understand that in history, what is a beginning was probably part of an outcome of an earlier issue or problem. And what might be an outcome to this issue that we're studying probably is going to have an impact as a cause for another set of events. So understand that the story will always be continuing. Chronological thinking often puts us in the attitude of looking at timelines. As historians, we often look at those sequences of time on a chronological timeline. Timelines provide us with data or evidence. Oftentimes there's dates, there's people's names, there's events being listed there, even locations. So that data is our evidence. And that data can either show that things are changing over this period of time, whether it's just a few weeks, a few months, a few years, or maybe even centuries, or that data can reflect that there is a lot of consistency, a lot of duration. Okay, oftentimes for our change, we use the word succession as historians, and for continuity, we often use the word duration. But understand the timelines are much like number lines with the little arrows on the end. They're going to have things happening well before and well after. So this is just simply a snapshot of time there. So how do we use chronological thinking? First of all, we have to see the story. We have to understand that there is that beginning, that development, and that outcome. And we have to determine what's going on within the story and how it is going to be important for our ability to explain those events. And then we as historians really need to continue the story. We need to be able to predict what's going to happen next, or without even knowing what created this set of circumstances. So using it and practicing it would probably start with you looking at your own life, whether it is over a period of years. I've moved around a lot, or I've stayed in the same place. It could be how the school year has gone for you, maybe your grades, maybe your whatever it happens to be, maybe your job history as you get older. But from a personal standpoint, you can see that continuity or that change, and then take a look at some historical timelines and see what that looks like. See if you can recognize those trends of continuity or change. Thanks.